Okay, in this video we're here in the Website Custom Settings tab of Website Builder module, and we're going to take a look at the Ad Management tab at the top. Now in this section, this is basically where we're controlling the ad placement on our theme. So we have on the left hand side, we have these multiple options of where to place ad code on our site. So we have the ad code under the nav bar. We have the code beside the featured post. We have code above title, so of your post detail. So if you put in an AdSense code or a widget code, it will show there. We have code after content. We also have the code above footer, code displayed in the sidebar, and we also have a script code section. So this is used for basically adding any tracking that you may want to use on your website. If you sign up to some affiliate programs, they offer different tracking codes that you can put in your site. Will offer different options at that affiliate network, and that's where you would use that section. So let's go ahead and take a look at the site. Now if we scroll down, you'll notice on some of the themes we have these certain sections here that you'll notice it's like an ad that's displaying, but this is code that's actually put into the theme that you can very simply edit yourself or disable if you don't want it there, or replace it with your own code. But I find it's quite simple. You don't really need to be a programmer or anything by any means. It's quite simple to edit. So let's take a look at it. We'll see this text here at the bottom. We have a button, so let's we know this is above the footer. So let's go into the software section, the ad management. We want to go the code above footer. So we'll see here. Here's the text we were just reading. The Kinetico lets you upload. So let's see. Let's take a look at that. So if we wanted to edit that text, we just simply, without changing the code, we can just highlight the text that we wish to change and add our own. And we'll edit our browse shop text. And let's go ahead and save our options. Let's go back to the site and take a look. Refresh the page. And you'll see our changes have taken effect. Now obviously I may want to add more text to stretch this out and make it more even on my site, but you'll see how simple it is to add your own text and make changes to these sections. Again, if I just wanted to get rid of that, I could simply come to that section and either delete the text or just simply disable it. Click Save. Go back to the site. Refresh the page. And if we scroll to the bottom, it is gone. So now let's go back to the software. We also have our code in sidebar. So basically, if we take a look at the site, that'll be this section over here. So if we have a widget that we'd like to have displayed, you just simply come in, paste the code in, save your changes, and it'll display there. So now let's move on to the banner settings section. Now we also mentioned this in a previous video where we displayed how to change your banners and create banners using the HD image editor, as well as the headers section and the headers gallery. So let's just as a refresher, let's take a look at it again. We have the banner settings section, so we can decide to have the image display in the banner section. So let's go to the website. So the scrolling section across the top, we can have the images displaying as they are now, or we could also have our posts display there automatically. So if you have your product posts, you can select those to display instead of the images, just simply by selecting post and saving your changes. You can also add spacing at the top or the bottom. We can decide to either show the slider, or we can actually remove it altogether. So if we actually did that, let me show you for a second. Save the changes, and we'll refresh the site, and the slider is gone. So it's very simple to control your site and make changes. And if you don't like a change you've made, you just simply come back and put it back to the way it was and save your changes, and the site will be back to normal. So back into the software. Okay, we also have the option to have the slider start automatically. We can select yes or no. We can show or hide our background image. So I don't have a background image in here right now. That's basically the look of the theme, the way it was when it was loaded. But if I wanted to change some color, or I had a textured background that I wanted to use, I could use it there. We also have settings so that we can choose color instead. We also control the button colors. We can select the number of posts that will be showing in the slider. And also, if you have it set to display your posts, down here is where you would select which posts you would like to be shown and featured in your slider. So let's go ahead to the lower tab. We have the slider images. So in this section we can select the slider style. In this instance on the site I have none selected, but we do have multiple options. So a lot of fun coming in here and just playing around with this section and seeing the different changes. So make a change, save your changes, view the website, refresh the website, and if you don't like the changes, come back and try a different one. But basically you can't hurt your site by just playing around in this section here. We have our slider easing, so you can change that around as well, and there's multiple options. We have slider delay, so you can set how long you'd like the software to wait between changing the sliders. We also have the slider timeout, and we have down in this section here we have our slider images showing. So if you'd like to add one, simply click here. We have the suggested banner size, and this is specific to the theme that you're using. So when you're using different themes, different sizes will actually display here. The software is picking up what theme you're using and will give you the optimal size to use for the proper display in the banner section. So also when you're adding any of these images, if you find that you're talking about a specific product or a link to a page in your site that you'd like to have added to that image, you just simply click here, add your link, and then when a user clicks on that image, they'll be taken to whatever link you've added to that section. So again, make your changes, click save, and everything will take effect on your site. So now let's take a look at the SEO settings tab. Now in here we have three options on the left hand side. We have the theme SEO, so we can come in here and enable our custom title. We have our homepage custom title. We have able to enable the homepage meta keywords. We can enter those here. We can enable our meta description as well and enter that here. We have canonical link, our canonical URLs. We can enable or disable here. We have our enable the robot meta generator. A lot of these are just default, so you'd want to just leave them the way they are. Basically the software is set up to run exactly with the default settings, but if you're more attuned to WordPress and you know exactly what you're doing, you can come in here and make any changes. We try to make the software as easy for the most novice user, but also definitely customizable enough for the most experienced user as well. So we also have a custom title separator we can select at the bottom, and any changes that you made, once you're completed, you simply click save. And we have on-site SEO section, so we come in here, we can set our site title, we can set our website, our WordPress address URL, and a site address URL. Again, you don't have to enter anything in here. The site is all being taken care of using the silo structure. We also have our email address and our admin email address, so you can come in here and change any of the access email addresses associated to your website. We can also enter our meta tag keywords, and we can also import those keywords by simply clicking here. We have our meta description section, so once we make any changes in this section, we simply click the save. We also have the option to change our permalink section, so this is more for the experienced user. Again, if you're using the silo, we simply don't want to touch this. With the silo structure, you simply don't need to mess with your permalinks. So after you've made any changes, simply click save. We also have our offsite SEO section, which is an area that's going to explain SENuke XCR, which is another software, one of Joe Russell's creations, and it's an excellent tool for getting site rankings and building backlinks. So if you want to come in here, you can download a PDF on it, you can view some details and a video, and a great way to get started getting promotion to your site. Now let's move on to the footer widget section. It's a very simple, short section. We can come in here and enter our copyright text that will display at the bottom of the site in the footer. We can also enter a link if we so wish to have that link to a section, or we can leave it blank and it'll just be the text itself. Once we make any changes, we simply click save. Now let's take a look at the Amazon settings tab. Now in this section, you'll notice that we have the ability to post products, but basically we won't be using that section a whole lot. You'll want to be posting your products from the monetization tool. It's just a lot easier that way. We also have the option to select the default database that you'll be using, and it also prevents duplicate products. So basically all this is also done from the monetization section automatically. So again, this section here is more for the experienced user that just wants to come in here and they already have their product ID, that they know what they want to have posted to their site. They just want it quickly done. Then this would be a way for them to do that. But basically if you're going to be researching products, you're going to do that from the monetization section. We also have our Amazon API key, so it saves your details for your specific site. So if you wanted to change your details for the specific site rather than use the details that you have saved in the software, you can do so here. This is also where link localization comes into effect. So with Amazon, if a site is selling in the US database, for instance, and someone visits from Canada, when they click on that product, they'll be automatically directed to the .ca version of Amazon. And if you don't have your link localization in here, you will not be receiving commissions for that sale because you are promoting the US database at the time. So this section here allows you to sign up to the multiple databases that Amazon offers, and you'd enter your details in here, and then according to the visitor clicking the ad on your site, they'll be automatically directed to the Amazon database, but with your affiliate link intact, so you will receive commissions. We also have the options down here at the bottom to select when we'd like the auto post to update our products on our site. So any Amazon products we have on our site right now as default, every 2 days they're going to be updated with any price changes or any changes that have been made at Amazon. And we also have our Amazon settings tab, which we can just simply decide to show or hide the rating of our product. And once we make any changes, we simply click save and move on to the next step. So let's take a look at the email form tab. In here, basically, we're making any changes to the opt-in form that's found on the site. So if you look in the sidebar, we have our opt-in form here. So in this section is where you'd want to make any changes. We have the ability to enable the email form or disable it. So if I wanted to get rid of it altogether, I just simply disable it, click save, go to the site, and it's removed. So now let's go back to the software, and I'll re-enable that. We also have the option to choose which autoresponder provider we want to use. We have Aweber, GetResponse, and SendReach. We also have the options to enter the Aweber form ID as well as the list name. We have our GetResponse ID we can enter here, and our SendReach form ID here, depending on which one we plan on using. We have form customization settings here. Now we can select the email form text color. So if we go to the site, we refresh the page, you'll see that our text here is white. So if we wanted to change the color on that, we just simply click the color picker and drag around until we find a color that we like and save the settings. We also have the option to change the text where it says sign up at the top. So that's the email form title. So if we want to change this text here, we just enter that there. Form name field text, so where it says enter your name, we can change that as well. Where it says enter your email, we can edit that. We also have the form button title, so email form button title. We also have form privacy text that we can enter here as well. And if you're a more experienced user and you're using an autoresponder service that they have a form that you'd like to use, you can also get that CSS code, paste it in here, and have it automatically saved to your site and use that form instead. So basically that wraps up the website custom settings section. A lot of this is just coming in and playing around with your site and finding out what settings best work for you. Again, don't be afraid. If you make an error, just simply change it back to the way it was and you'll be fine. And we have more training coming up to help you along the way. Thanks.